Hey everyone, Menz here, doing another What's New video. This week, gonna have a little bit about American tanks, the American heavy line specifically, what I think kind of needs done to make it a little bit more competitive in World of Tanks, even considering all the premium round changes, HP changes, and everything coming out. Just doing a little blurb about them. Give me ideas. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Gonna be some clips from the past couple weeks of my stream, funny moments, epic moments, a little bit in between at the end. Also kind of what's happening on the 1.6.1 test server, since that's currently live, and a couple other little tidbits. In any event, let's start with the American tanks here. So most people know the sandbox server. It's already been up twice this year for premium round changes. They plan on doing another one at the very end of September, early-ish in October. We should see some pretty drastic changes to HE shells, further rebalancing when it comes to premium shells, so on and so forth. And that'll be the third test, and apparently they want 4 before it hits the live server. So even with all those changes, you know, these things basically, I guess you could correlate them alongside all the other changes they're doing. But most people think American tanks, you know, heavy line's not very competitive. I still like it. I think it's fun. It's good for new players too, because it gives you a little bit of a taste of like all the different playstyles. In any event, the T-125, something I see a lot of people point out is, hey, we need to slap more armor on this thing. I completely disagree with that. When they actually changed it to HD, that was like one of the worst things that they did, was overbuff the cupola. The cupola is not really the issue in my personal opinion. You shouldn't just slap armor on things to try to fix something. That's not how that's not good balance, because it screws over tier 8s, you know, tier 9s. People have to chuck more premium rounds, low pen tanks, blah blah blah. In any event though, T-125, what I would do to it, let's pull this up here. Basically 3 different things, starting with mobility. Give it a little bit of a mobility buff, so 40 kilometers an hour forward instead of 37. 320 on the engine module health. So that's one big thing that's overlooked. The engine on American tanks, basically all throughout the tiers, specifically the heavies, their engine health is really low. Pretty much everything that shoots you is going to damage your engine if it actually hits the module. With only 260 health. 320 brings it up to basically what kind of around what tier 10s have, other tier 10 heavies. It's still not going to be the best, but it's actually, I think it's a pretty big problem to where it's something that's really overlooked, and the engine module hasn't really been changed in forever. On the American tanks, it's really low across all the tiers. In any event, that's a little thing that most people probably haven't thought about. I didn't think about it until I was kind of poking around stats, but I was like, holy crap. Like, yeah, basically every time your engine gets hit, the thing's going to get damaged. Anyway, hull traverse, a little bit more on the hull traverse, 32 degrees a second instead of 30 degrees a second. Gun depression, big thing. Only -8 degrees gun depression on the T-123. I think that is like the biggest slap in the face ever, because the tank, you know, granted, it was never built. It was basically made it to a mock-up phase, and there was designs and like parameters for the tank, more or less having a more compact heavy tank, I believe, to have it be able to be transported a little bit easier, I think, on train or something like that. I don't know. In any event, the thing called for 10 degrees of gun depression. I don't know why it has 8 degrees. It's kind of, especially with the Super Conqueror, starting at 8 degrees, and then when they released that thing, they gave it 10 degrees after the public test server. This thing deserves 10 degrees of gun depression. Little bit of a bonus, you know, outside of just getting 2 more degrees of gun depression to point over things. It would actually make the cupola a little bit harder to hit, and actually a little bit tougher, since it'll be angled, you know, a little bit more so. So that's one little thing to where you don't need to change the armor on the cupola, in my personal opinion. Just make it a little bit harder to hit it with the gun depression, a little bit tougher too with the slight increase in angle. But yeah, that's something to where I have no idea why that's still a thing in today's game. 8 degrees instead of 10 degrees. I would actually nerf the gun accuracy just a pinch, 0.36, instead of 0.35 that we currently have. My in-game here says 0.32. That's just because I have a crap ton of crew skills, equipment, all that. These are basic values. One thing I would do, so most tier 10 mediums, most people kind of know that tanks have, in the client it doesn't show you, there's like a hidden parameter on the move accuracy values for like when you turn your turret, when you turn your hull, when you're moving forward and backward, after you fire. There's these values that affect each tank differently. Most tier 10 mediums have a 0.10 value. So what that means is basically, and this is for on the move, the hull traverse specifically was what I'm talking about. Most mediums have 0.10. So that means when they're moving around and stuff, they have a very small penalty for their accuracy that blooms, just a little bit. The T110E5 is 0.18, which is pretty bad. It's not very good. Obviously other tier 10 heavies have some pretty bad values too. My thought is nerf the overall accuracy a little bit, as you see 0.36 to, from 0.35. Give it 0.12 on the move and the hull traverse penalty that it gets. That way it's a little bit better moving around, being that flexible heavy tank, and especially with a little bit of a mobility buff. Finally, the big thing though is something needs to happen with the gun. The gun is honestly anemic at this point at tier 10 for a heavy, unless you just chuck gold out of it. That way you most likely, hopefully, won't miss any shots. But 400 damage just doesn't cut it for a single shot heavy tank in today's game, especially when mediums basically out damage you because they almost have the same amount of damage. They have more penetration than you, DPM, all that, accuracy. And your armor doesn't really amount to much currently in today's game. So what I would propose is two different options. If they wanted to keep it at 400 damage for some reason, buff the rate of fire from the basic 6 rounds per minute, which again in my garage it says 7.27. That's because of all the crew skills and equipment and stuff. Buff it to 6.8 rounds per minute. That way the DPM goes from 2400 to 2720 DPM. That would actually bring it basically in line with the Conqueror. I think actually maybe a pinch above it. But the Conqueror has, the accuracy and, stuff like that to kind of keep that, relevant. Not that that thing's bad in any means. Or give it 440 alpha and keep the rate of fire the same. That brings the damage per minute up to 2640. So again, right around the Super Conqueror levels. But, more or less though, when it comes down to it, like, I don't think they need to do something to the armor. I would just basically keep it as it is. Kind of smaller changes here. M103, I really like the M103. I would just buff the HP 1900 and give it 10 more meters of E-range at 400. Then the T32, I would honestly leave pretty much everything the same except for the gun. The 105, which is really bad right now, I would basically buff the rate of fire. Right now it's 5.66. I would put it at 6.5 as far as the rate of fire. And then that basically raises the DPM up almost to 2100. And gun accuracy gets buffed a little bit accuracy-wise. Plus, I would add the Patriot's gun. From my understanding, the T32 was supposed to have a kind of long-barreled or high-velocity or whatever 90mm gun. So I would put the Patriot's T71 90mm on it. That's 240 damage. I would give it a little bit lower rate of fire, basically 8 rounds a minute. So lower DPM than a Patriot, so 1920 DPM for the T32, and give it 0.39 accuracy. So a little bit less accurate than a Patriot too. The Patriot, is obviously an awesome tank. Basically, this would just make the T32 have two different gun options. One a little bit higher alpha, higher DPM. The other one basically lower damage per shot, but much better penetration, accuracy, and less DPM. Where, basically, I think it would be a pretty good option. The T32 already has pretty solid armor. It's a little slow and sluggish, but all in all, though, these are at least my opinions on the American tanks. I know that there's this like huge premium round balance and all that stuff coming out, but just kind of an idea. The T29 obviously doesn't need anything because it's awesome. M6 and a T1, the only thing I was kind of poking around that I think they could use, because they're kind of low on the win percentage wise across, you know, all the servers, maybe give it like a little bit of E-range because it's so tall. Just, you know, an extra 10 or 20 meters of E-range. It's about it, what I think. In any event though, let's get into other stuff. So what's kind of happening in World of Tanks and what's coming out? So I'm actually starting with, which, whoops, I guess like closed World of Tanks and everything. Awesome. There we go. Whoopsie daisy. This is something that's not coming to World of Tanks PC. Let me start that. But I saw this on WoT Express and I just had to say, thank God this is not coming to World of Tanks. This is World of Tanks Blitz. They just got some camouflages, apparently. And yeah, this one specifically, I'm pretty sure if Wargaming added this, people would like revolt. But all in all though, I don't think we have to worry about something like this coming in the PC version, albeit in 1.6. The reason I included this is because in 1.6, more or less, they're adding some basically extra camouflages. This is going to be called a hunter pattern, which all these links you can find in the video description below when you basically, you know, get done this if you want to check them out. They're all going to be in order, in the order that you see them. The Turtle MK1, the HD model, is complete. You know, that we might be seeing this sooner rather than later. Basically, you know, this is a kind of a, I guess, a prototype to the Tier 9 Tortoise. And, you know, here on Rita's website, she kind of has a little blurb about basically, you know, a little bit of history about it. This is on Wargaming's website, you know, 1.6.1. Most people probably already saw this. You know, I've been talking about it. And, you know, more or less multinational tanks and basically a lot of unique styles and camouflages they're putting in here. More stuff, though. Basically, these are 3D styles now. You can find these over on the dailybounce.net. Basically, there's going to be a new down-tiered Black Prince A43 coming out, a premium tank eventually, and there's a unique 3D style that they're going to be, I guess, selling alongside of it. Who knows, this might be like a marathon or something as well. You know, we'll see, you know, when it comes down to this tank. There's also a new Cloud9 style. I believe this is, like he says, NA region. Like maybe it's exclusive to the NA region, but it's for American tanks only, apparently. Wargaming NA's done that before, to where they've released, you know, custom camouflages just on the NA server, because they've kind of pushed for it. There's a veterans one, basically for the NA region. This one looks like it is exclusive for the NA region for obvious reasons, but this one looks pretty neat. We'll probably see that, you know, 1.6.1. Who knows if they'll just enable it and let you just buy it at will, you know, whenever you want, or if it'll be tied to like some sort of special event or something. Who knows. Last but not least, E75TS, you know, kind of the Frankenstein made up E75 tank that's going to be a Tier 8 premium heavy. This has a pretty awesome 3D style as well. Again, like, no news on if they're just going to sell this tank or if there's going to be a marathon. No news. Who knows? Or if it's going to be like the Cody T27, where, you know, they sell the tank and there's going to be like 2 separate missions, one for people who have it, one for basically people who don't own the tank, and you get the 3D style at the end. Who really knows? But in any event, we'll probably see, you know, the E75TS, you know, the Black Prince A43, you know, a tier lower, Turtle MK1 at some point soon. That seems to be the tanks they're kind of focusing on here. In any event, you know, that's it for me. You know, I kind of blabbered on a little bit too much about the American tanks, and, you know, let me know what you think about that. For those that catch me on Twitch, if you're watching this today on Thursday, you know, Friday the 13th coming up tomorrow, I'll be dressed up like a tomato. Yay. Thanks again, Backnall. I lost the challenge a bet, so yeah, I'll be a tomato tomorrow. I'm going to leave you guys with some clips. You know, it's several minutes of clips here. just to kind of cap out this video. Hopefully you enjoy them. And yeah, I'll catch you guys hopefully sometime soon again. Have a good one. Destroy the rest of the enemy team. That's only the case though if the enemy actually has a fair amount of HP left. If they only have like 1 or 2 tanks, like we didn't have that many tanks left, to be completely honest. It's not worth it. Oh, got him. That was an epic shot. Am I good or am I good? Or is it just CC RNG? I might just have to give myself a pat on the back there though. E10's the one that shot me too. 257. What are you doing? No. No, 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 no. I'm definitely gonna die here, guys. I'm trying. I'm not trying to kill myself. Oh, it worked. Success! Success! Suck it! Oh no, he didn't die! I was like, he's gonna die and run off. Yeah, there we go. I got it. No damage, because they're all shooting heat, kind of. M103's feeling brave. Oof. I have no idea how I just got out of that without taking 0 damage, guys. If that isn't proof of community contributor RNG, I don't know what is. All right, that's away, little German tank. Albeit I just set him on fire. Holy crapola! I might actually fight this dude. CC RNG, guys. It's a thing. I guess set him on fire again. Holy freaking crap. There's no making this up. I feel bad for that guy. Like, legitimately. He's probably like this freaking hacker. He's probably reporting me right now. I'm hitting the help button because this is not going to hold out forever. CC or not, like, I'm like spamming premium left or right here too, but... Thank you for turning a little bit more. I was just trying to get the damage and the track. Holy crap, I got an ammo rack. We're on to something though, guys, with this CC RNG button. Like, nobody shot once and I missed. I'm pretty sure I shot once. But yeah, that was a different battle. Oh, it was only a first class. You gotta be kidding me. Like, I know I was spotting it all, so I only got half the experience. But we got ourselves a patrol duty, got ourselves a scout award. I am just terrible. I'm down here at the bottom. Like, what the hell? I'm like the worst player ever. But yeah, most amount of experience with 0 damage. Like GoldenEye with my friends as kids, like, which I'm gonna drown here. Oh man, I slid off. I wanted to slide off here. We're about to drown. No. No. Oh, I survived. Totally had that, guys. You guys thought I was gonna drown. Oh, I can't believe I survived that. I'm so lucky. Is still planned for this year. It's just the ammo rebalance, honestly, is like, because they're going at basically a really complicated. Oh, that guy, I guess, did 1,000 damage to it. How did I pen him? I didn't ammo rack him. Oh my god, I feel bad for that person. I apologize for that. Because I'm not using AP. Oh, let's see if he hits me. Oh, he hit me. I was like slow motion watching someone realize that they're about to kill themselves. Oh man, you kind of saw him turn a little bit at the end and then he still ran right into me. That's hilarious. Oh man. Well, anyway, that worked out for us there. That's funny. In the garage, I like forced myself to log into my website and add it in. Come on, little Easter bunny. Got my Easter bunny, my lucky die. Ooh, and we got him. And the T-95 hit me and set me on fire, but I don't care. I just one-shot a tank. Oh, man. Okay. Yeah, at this point, though, I don't know if I'm going to get another shot here. I'm just holding out hope that maybe I'll get a shot, because the convoy, I think, still has... As I crash. Oh, man. I misjudged that a little bit. I think the convoy still has full HP. I should have just waited. At least I hit team has already lost. Oh my god, and he got me. I should have backed up one more time. I thought the building was going to save me. In any event, somehow we turned a completely useless battle into 3,200 damage, 1,500 block, and 600 assist. Yeah. I'll take it. We got absolutely clobbered though. Man, oh, dude. Hiding in my... As you can see, the SPG is still trying to shoot me. Even though he has other shots, he can see that Digger Max. He might not be able to shoot that far though, but that SPG is still trying... He's still trying to kill me. What the hell? I'm like afraid to come out. Someone call 911. Or someone call Reddit to save me. To make a destroy the rest of the enemy team.